And hello again, and here's a quick update video on the recall issue of my Norton Commando 961 SP. So I found out about the issue back at the end of April. It's now June, Friday the 13th, which is a bit worrying, but yeah, it is now Friday the 13th. And in the last 6 weeks, quite a few things have happened, but I've still got the bike, it's not been fixed yet. So what's been happening is, I found out that the bike's going to be collected for free, of course, at some point, taken away, fixed and brought back. In the first 2 weeks, nothing much happened, but then I started seeing videos online, YouTube, on forums for Norton saying, yeah, my bike's been collected, I've got it back, all's well that ends well. In the meantime, I've heard nothing at all, and I'm getting a bit annoyed. On week 3, I got a letter for the post from Norton themselves. And it just repeated basically what the issue is. It's been the same kind of details you see on their webpage. It did actually add one more fact though, and that is that at the bottom it said there are 577 bikes affected, and of course mine's one of them. So I waited and waited and waited, and another week went by and nothing happened. So eventually I emailed back to Norton saying, what's going on? Why can't I have my bike collected? When will it be collected? And I got no reply. Turns out lots of people, I think, have been doing this. They've been phoning up, emailing them saying, what's going on, can I get my bike collected soon? And I think they've just been inundated, they've been overwhelmed. We've got one poor guy at the end of the phone trying to deal with all this, and he's just not up to it. You know, they don't have the support there. I have heard people phoning up and being told, yes, we'll phone you back when we've got a date. They never get a phone call back. So yeah, that's a bit frustrating, especially when you hear people who live in Aberdeen, in Cornwall, in Lincolnshire getting their bikes collected. You know, why are you doing Aberdeen? I'm a lot closer to Birmingham here in Cheshire than they are in Aberdeen, but whatever. So I waited and I saw, anyway, I was getting a bit annoyed. And I have to admit, I have been riding the bike in the last 6 weeks. I was so annoyed. And the weather's been fantastic during May. So I figured, well, my bike's done over 2,000 miles now. It's been thrashed. I've hit the rev limiter more than once. It's been fine. And the chances of this problem occurring to me in the next few weeks are pretty much, you know, just not going to happen. So I've just started riding the bike, and it's been fine, of course. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done, but I have done, and I'm still here. The bike's fine, and I've been told, I've been read that apparently no bikes have been affected by this problem on the road. So I think Norton have just gone completely over the top because they want to get the reputation intact. They don't want any bike failing on the road. So unlike most manufacturers who might look at this problem and go, well, we'll fix it at the next service. They said, no, we've got to do a recall. We've got to do a recall. And so that's what's happened. They've gone a bit too far the other way, I think. So anyway, I've been riding the bike. Weather's been fantastic. And I was getting a bit annoyed that I don't hear anything. But I figured, well, of those 577 bikes, someone's going to be the first and someone's going to be the last or near the end. And knowing my luck, I'll be at the bloody end, which I think is what's happened. So this week, thankfully, I did finally get a phone call from the collection company who were very polite, very helpful, and they've arranged a collection. And that collection is going to happen in about 10 minutes time on Friday the 13th, which is a bit worrying. They did say that Dave, a chap called Dave, the driver, he will phone me an hour before he's due, which he did about more than half an hour ago now. So yeah, I'm just expecting him to arrive and we'll get the bike in the van and away it goes. Now, how long it's away for, I don't know. I've seen people saying, yeah, I got mine back in 4 days. One guy said, no, it's been away now for 16 days. I've heard nothing. It's still not come back. So who knows? Knowing my luck, the weather will be fantastic for the next few weeks when the bike's away. But there you go. I've also found out that the vans that they take the bikes in can contain 4 bikes at a time. And sure enough, I do know of 2 other bikes near me in Cheshire, and they're both getting the bikes collected today. So obviously the van's here and it's just going around the area picking up the local bikes. So yeah, hopefully, you know, nothing will go wrong. Now, just in case, I have used my phone to take loads of close-up photographs of my bike, every little bit of it, just in case something goes wrong, it maybe falls over, something gets scratched. I want proof to say, look, my bike was in good condition when it left here, and if you made it scratched or damaged it, you should pay to get the damn thing fixed. I'm sure it won't happen, but just in case, I have taken loads of pictures which are all time and date stamped, so fingers crossed that's good proof that the bike is in good condition before it goes. So that's kind of what's happening. As I say, in 10 minutes time, bike will be collected and away it goes. I don't know if maybe Dave, the driver, will be happy with me filming all this, so I probably won't bother. The sooner he goes, the sooner he can get home and get it sorted out. So today's a Friday, so I guess the bike won't be collected and sent to Norton and fixed on a Friday. So maybe next week it will be done. But as I say, fingers crossed I'll get it back as quickly as possible. Now the bike's been fine, it's running really beautifully, really happy with it, and I intend to keep it for a very long time. And I still feel that way. One more thing I found out recently, which has nothing to do with my bike, but to do with Norton, is that they're due to announce their new model range in Q4 of this year, which is kind of what, October, November, which is just around about the time of Motorcycle Live and the big EICMA bike show over there in Italy. So I think that's when they'll probably announce, you know, some of the new models. What I found out is there's going to be 3 different ranges of models. There's going to be a big, expensive range, so like big V4s, maybe it'll be a touring bike, an adventure bike, sports bike. So there'll be the big V4s. Then there'll be a small single, except it won't be a single, it's going to be a twin. It's going to be a 450 twin that shares the same similar engine as the new BMW 450 twin, used in the new GS, the little mini GS bike, because TVS in India, who own Norton, also build the small BMWs for BMW. So it makes sense if maybe they'll share a lot of the architecture and the technology of those engines. And that is quite an interesting bike for me, because I have been looking for a smaller bike just for nipping around town. You know, you don't want to go on this and get fully dressed up and just to go across town, just, you know, for sort of 5 miles, whatever. But a littler bike, a small bike, a little nippy bike that's not too slow. You know, I didn't want a Royal Enfield because they're too slow, but this apparently is a bit nippier. And being Norton, I suspect they'll have upgraded suspension and brakes and so on compared to the typical sort of smallish bikes like the, let's see, the Triumph 400s or the Royal Enfield Gorillas and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's quite an interesting prospect. And then for the middleweights, I guess that's where a replacement for this bike will be. No doubt it'll be water cooled, 6-speed gearbox, blah blah blah. Maybe somewhere between 750 and 900cc, something like that, to go up against the Triumph Bonnies and the 900s and so on. Again, that should be quite a cool looking bike. And finally the big V4s, you know, which is not really a bike for me, but hopefully they'll do well with it. So all that is apparently going to happen in Q4 of this year, so that's something to look forward to. So anyway, there's a quick update. It's now 5 minutes to go before Dave's due to arrive. So the bike's ready for him. I've got the key ready to go, and fingers crossed I'll get it back in no time. I probably will make a 3rd video when it comes back, and I'll give an update about what's happened, how long it's taken to do the work and get it back to me and so on. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, all will be well, despite today being Friday the 13th. So anyway, that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and cheers.